Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final game of the playoffs. It is the grand championship between Fierce and Nemesis. I'm Reviv. I'm here with Billboard. Billboard, how you doing today?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. Well, personally, not so well, but I'm excited for the games today at least. So that's got me hyped up. We have a rematch. If this is going to be the question of can Fierce come out on top and end up becoming the new reigning DPL champions, or is Nemesis going to be able to retain their title from last season as they did win DPL season 2?
They did. It's a rematch of the first round, the first game of the playoffs. It's a rematch of last year's championship, some off-season tournament championships. We've seen this matchup a lot of times. What makes this one different? What makes this one super exciting?
Well, first off, I mean, we do have the full rosters from both teams, so no subs. This is going to be everything that both these teams can bring out. I hope. So we should be seeing what hopes to be a close game. But I think it. I think this one will be more telling in the beginning. And also, might end up being a game of fatigue too, because this is going to be a long series. And both these teams are going to need to be in it for the long haul.
Absolutely. That's what makes winning a championship probably so difficult. There's the longevity combined with the long season, combined with the long playoffs, and tonight, or this afternoon rather, a long game. So
But,
we're looking forward to it, and I hope everybody at home is too.
but this is the one that matters because whoever wins this takes the first place prize. As this, of course, this season we do have a prize pool, and so unlike last season, this rematch is even more important because of that fact alone.
Absolutely. This is the first time these two have played for serious money, no less. It's not just chunk change here for the first place team.
Yeah, we're talking $1,300 to the first place team, and second place gets 700. So you're talking about potentially losing half of the money right there,
Yeah.
depending on what place you get. So yeah, money is here. So it is important for these two teams to see who comes out on top.
For sure. And I believe the format of today's game is it best of 5?
I believe so.
I believe
So,
it is, and I believe if Fierce wins the first game, we will just play another one because Nemesis have not lost and Fierce are in the losers bracket. Unless again I am mistaken about that, which I totally could be.
yeah, we'll hopefully get some info in case we're
If
speaking
it
speaking
assume
incorrect.
that's right until somebody yells at us for being stupid.
Yes, pretty much.
um, really just waiting on the teams to queue up at this point, folks. But Billboard, you got predictions for the game? What are you seeing? 5 games or participate a lot of back and forth, but
I mean,
long haul.
yeah. So I mean, well, we can start off by looking real quick at the rosters because,
Oh
like I
yeah, good call.
said, we have no subs today. At least unless something probably comes up for any of the players and might have to sub out later. But at least for the start here, we do see the full five on both sides. So for the side of Nemesis, we see Josh, Mace, Smith, Death, and Roadrunner. While on the side of Fierce, we see Marbles, Diagri, Adaxi, Stars, and Feral. So everyone's coming out guns blazing this time around. And in terms of predictions, um, if I'm gonna play it safe, I'm gonna say Nemesis. Fierce is the one to prove something here. Their matchups with Nemesis have never been good. Some a lot closer than others, but Nemesis has always been able to take it. So if this is Fierce's time to prove anything, and especially through all the hard work they had to go through yesterday with Yakuza, today is that day.
Absolutely. And it is worth saying you say full rosters at full capacity. I'm not sure we've seen much of Nemesis other than the playoffs have not had this roster. So with Smitten there and everybody performing really well. So it'll be important to see that, that's a power we haven't seen a ton, like a full regular season like we have with Fierce. So It's exciting to see how
Yeah.
that's going to develop as well.
And to be fair, yeah, Smith rejoined later on in the season too, so
Yeah,
um, it is a bit different. We would have seen probably Brandwan in that spot, but yeah, instead we have Smith, and returning back to the team after having to leave earlier on, and which usually was their IGL, so they kind of have a bit more coordination because of his slot in here, and I mean, he does make them strong because of that. They are a team that kind of just likes to go in and shoot things, and so he can usually help facilitate that.
absolutely. And here we are. First set is going to be Factory Dome C Store 3 light maps in that order. We're going to start off on Lawful Dauntless again. I believe this is the first map we saw the first time these two played each other in the playoffs. Billboard, once you load in here, tell me what are you seeing on Lawful Dauntless?
Yeah, so well, first off, we were seeing Nemesis start on their strong side, which is attack. I mean, Nemesis attacks are always very quick and very brutal, and fierce on the defense. So with a map like this, we have a few ways, or two main ways I would say that are the most popular to take. Whether it's usually the servers or the dock push. We generally see servers quite a bit just because of how easy it is to get power, as well as you kind of have some ways to come out both sides. You can push out the servers, but you do have to deal with these angles from up top on the generator, a player maybe playing by the forklift, or players from storage as well. As this is a difficult green to push, and that's why Fierce is going to be setting up for that. They have a barb ready for it. While the other push, and which looks like what Nemesis wants to do, is they just want to go straight for that red door. And there is a truck nearby, but it is a solo truck, so it shouldn't be hard for them to clear. Outside of that, they're going to have to deal with a lot of long angles, which they have prepared, by this box up on this generator. They could have a mop holding the long angle onto the docks. And look, but Fierce is ready for it too. They do have a barb set up so the gen can't get taken right away, as well as they want to have a molly ready to go when this red door gets blown. So I think this round is gonna matter depending on the speed of which Nemesis does their attack. We know them for being a fast team, but if Fierce are already on top of it and they slow down the momentum, they might get a little thrown off.
Absolutely. Definitely a defendable situation with how strong this generator could play if Nemesis aren't able to push them off their defensive positions. Roadrunner clearing out that truck because they're going to push, not hiding this dog push in any way, shape, or form. Smith's going to put that charge down. Farrell taking some LS wall bangs through the dock truck as the charge is going to come out. Farrell playing that tight with the tub as Mace is going to do a little work up in storage as well, putting flashing through the window. He's going to push in and take down Die up top in storage and going to push all the way into the factory. He's just going to walk right in. He's able to take down Farrell as well before Adaxi finally sits him down. Excellent solo play from Mace there to give his team the advantage. The flashes are in. Josh pushing through that barb. He's going to go down. Marble's able to get two. Josh and Roadrunner both going down. Roadrunner able to get one before he does so, though, onto Adaxi, bringing it to a 2v2. Smith taking some shots. There's Marble's mop shot, not able to connect. Takes a ton of damage trying to get it off. A smoke is going to come out on the generators. Death is going to be able to push up here all the way to the bomb. Smith using this forklift as cover. Marble's going to have to try to peek through the smoke. Stars goes for the full rotate, trying to get around here if he can. Smith pre-firing into that smoke there. Marble's trying to take some shots, or Stars rather, takes the shots onto Death, puts him down on the bomb. It's a 2v1. Smith now left alone to try to fuse the bomb. 50 seconds left though. This is winnable.
Yeah, the round ties down. Very close here, 1v2 scenario, and yeah, you're right. Health is low on Marbles. He's coming up on him, Smith taking his time, walking up onto the generator, but Stars is playing it perfect, hiding in green as well. Smith having no time. He's not even going to challenge the angle right away, but here he comes, coming around the corner. Marbles holding the angle, misses the shot, but Smith misses his too, as he runs on his way to Stars, and Stars takes the kill, and the round goes to Fierce. Wow.
What a second half of the round from Fierce there.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought that round was gonna be perfect for Nemesis. Mace was able to do so much. Only we saw Fierce only holding one person on the green, and Mace naded the barb away and just flash pushed himself in and took the 1v1 and won it. Not only that, but he was able to kill Farrell, who was playing on the dock with a shotgun, ready to play for the close red door. And he opened up the site for his teammates, but Fierce was able to hold it down. And surprisingly too, that barbed wire that was placed near the red door did get, I think, blown up from the Dora charge, and I bet if you're fierce, you're not too happy about that either. But still, they pulled it off perfectly. Great job, great rotate from Stars there to kill the player on bomb. That's exactly what they needed. And we move over to good old Killdome.
Fortune Terror.
Yeah, so this this is a very hard defender map, so honestly I would not be surprised to see Nemesis take this one. But the reason why it's a difficult one is because of how valuable this beach is, and um, this jungle can't really get held by much. So the only real places you can end up, I guess, kind of playing with actual cover is kind of up at the top corner of this jungle, as both pushes on these reds are very strong. You have the one underneath that can get you really quick access to power, or you have the one up top, observation, which can get you ruins control, which means that there's no support left for anyone playing in the jungle or the base or anything like that. So that means in the end, because you want to be doing a split push here, then you'll have your beach players be able to push up, clear everything up top, clear any small corners in the base, and then from that point, the rest of the defense should be squared off nice and neatly in pit. So what Fierce needs to do here is they need to hold the line on either of these fronts, whether it be holding down this observation from this push, which is what Nemesis wants to do, or trying to contest the beach, which is possible as Marbles still has the mop and actually brings it. Feral also picked up the saber, so it is looking really good for Fierce on the economy.
Absolutely. With these super long angles coming out of these top ruins, which are super safe angles, it's going to be really difficult for Nemesis to try to have to push this beach. And again, they're only going to send one up there on the beach. It's going to be Mace. It's going to be a tough job for him to try to get past the double snipers. As Death can put the charge down now onto observation, charged immediately, not even a hesitation. Josh is going to run on in. No Molly yet, as two players for Fierce are in his way. Nathan can just look to kick his way into beach. The Molly does go out, does a ton of damage there onto Josh. He's able to get out, but he trades that damage off onto Daya, keeping it even. The nade's going to come out, get rid of the barbed wire that's in there. A second Molly comes out in Obs from Stars there, trying just again to slow down this push. Mace tons of damage onto Marbles deep up there in the ruins. Not able to find the pick though. Flash comes out. Mace is going to go down and beach. Trades coming everywhere, and they're all for the side of Fierce. It's just Smith left, who's able to take down a Daxi, but he's in a 1v3 now against two snipers and Diagri with an Invar, and Smith's going to fall back. The only clacker left for the attackers, and he's just going to keep it for himself. It's going to be 2-0 Fierce.
Just a mow down an observation. We saw Josh taking lots of damage early on and trying to get greedy to see if he could bait the Molly, which he finally got it out, and we saw no flashes on the side of Nemesis, so good from them. But we still saw the take come through. We saw the nade come out. We saw the flashes come through, but it wasn't enough. A Daxi playing a great spot up here with the great cross from Ruins, so they just had all these angles just destroying them. And Daxi having the knack there, being able to do tons of close range damage, while Stars and Diagri were using I believe it was an AK, and yeah, the Ingmar just doing tons of damage that way. And then yeah, Mace was trying to do a solo play, but didn't realize that he ran into two snipers, so unfortunately he became useless. But at least at the end of the day, Nemesis gets to keep Clacker here, going on to this third map of the quarter.
Well, for sure, and definitely an interesting play. Two attacks in a row now, kind of just sending Mace alone to green to see what he can get done. Kind of I don't know if it's surprising is the word. Farrell's gonna jump out, try to see if he can take out Snitley. He's gonna go down to the UAV, but he didn't have anything valuable. He dropped the saber before doing so. He does lose a knack though, so I don't know. Might play here in C-Store. Knack is a pretty big C-Store weapon.
It's not a bad idea to be doing what Nemesis is doing and trying to send Mace as a bait. It worked really well that first round. Unfortunately, they couldn't secure the round, and you know they've had Mace do these things before as well. So it's nothing new from Nemesis. It's just not working right now. And because with that type of thing, you're relying on your main push, and right now the main push is looking weak. We saw it both times. They were not able to capitalize after they got a certain amount of control, and they've been shut down twice now. So Nemesis really needs to pull this together. Their attacks looking rough. Maybe it's just a warm up thing, first game jitters as it does happen. But we go to the third and final round of the attack from Nemesis in this first quarter, and we're moving to a C store. So we do have a bit of a different C store in terms of that we have the green as a skylight drop in rather than a door, and so that means storefront is effectively useless, at least because there's really no need to open the wall when you can just drop right in. So they're looking into doing a wall charge right into the site, or while holding off the flanks from storage, and probably pushing through arcade and freezer as well, as bathroom is a good pinch too. Something they need to be aware of. I'm not sure if Fierce will do, but an aggressive play that can happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Nemesis do it on their side, as just knowing how aggressive they like to play C stores. We do have a really close red door to these stairs here, so that could prove to be a bit troublesome if not careful from either team. But yeah, on the push here, it's a pretty simple one. You don't really have to do a whole lot. You can just you hop in the storefront and only need really one person to hold down this storage door, and if even if someone's in teller 2, you can just kind of do have a 2-in-1 and hold it from the skylight, while the rest of the team is just going to want to push out this freezer, push out clear arcade, and you don't really even have to touch storage either. And then, so yeah, the wall charge, I'm assuming, is going to be the one right into office. We see Marbles bringing the auto stars with that saber yet again, looking to hopefully get an opening pick. And but the barb is all stacked on site, and they're trying to set up for what could be a wall charge.
Well, there's a chance both those barbs currently down go to that wall charge if it ends up going out. Definitely definitely this one will be interesting to see if that one goes. The glass is going to get shot out here by Josh, so they're just going to toy around with the door. Oh, they try to drop it. It actually immediately punishes them for it. Josh not able to get anything going there. That's going to go down in storefront as well. Smith, the only one really alive up there still, is Runner finally is able to get there, and those are two huge opening picks for Fierce. Maybe thinking about a replan now, is they're going to go for a full rotate, and they are. Smith's going to put the charge down on bathrooms. They're going to opt for this route, taking bathroom with ease and opening up that office door. Molly's going to go down. Mason's going to have to try to run through, and he's able to get through with no HP. Rotor able to take down Marbles on site and jump on the diffuser. Takes down Daya too, and they have sight. Smith on site trying to slow him down. Farrell and Adaxi both going to go in. Bomb at 40% already. Farrell pushing through this bomb, pushing in together. Mace goes down. Wow. It's Road Runner 2, Adaxi with 3, Farrell with 2, and it's 3-0 Fierce.
Fierce coming out strong here. Great defenses from them. Pretty much doing everything perfectly. They're in the places they need to be for the places that Nemesis are pushing, and like that's the name of the game. And Nemesis is just not ready for that. They are not really using their utility. They dropped in that storefront, thinking that like they would be able to do it pretty uncontested, and unfortunately Josh went first and went alone. No one else really went with him, and so he died alone. He got beamed by Adaxi as the opening kill, and then another one followed suit very quickly after with a smoke, and then that's when they decided to adjust to swap. Instead of all pushing together, they just kind of went one by one. So this isn't the Nemesis we're used to seeing. So hopefully their defenses can make up for their poor attacks as we swap sides here. Going back to this factory, Fierce wants to look like they take the storage and go for the server route. So the thing with the storage, Mace actually made very quick work with it, but it can be a bit difficult to hold just because of how these silos are. It can make things a little bit awkward when having to flash things through and clear corners. So if Nemesis decides to stack this green a bit harder than Fierce did by maybe playing having 2 different players or 2 different angles set up, I think they'll have a better time. But on the push into server, Fierce is looking to be ready for kind of the things they got to worry about in terms of a player playing on the forklift, as well as people up on top of these generators, because really the idea of taking server while it's not on the side of the bomb and it gives them a lot of control on this side is there's not really cover on the left side of the map, and also The right side gets you that power, so we'll have to see what Nemesis decides to bring in terms of flares, but they do decide to have some barbs all set up toward the server. One on the side of the open door that leads to the generator, as well as we have two barbs set up for storage. Oh, actually, they do look like they might want to get rid of that one on the green itself. They choose to actually probably not hold the green then, if that's the case. But we'll see. The utility looks like to be Josh bringing out the mop, and we see two Ingmars, a Lagras, and a Gruber on the side of the defense. And the attack is rolling through, bringing a nade as well, ready to deal with the green. And Roadrunner starting the round at the green, hoping to get some early damage.
Playing very aggressive up here on this door and window. The kick comes out. Roadrunner is able to get a pick onto Feral. That's huge. Fierce's star man goes down early. There's a 4v3 for the rest of the round as Roadrunner falls all the way back now on low HP. Going to be a 2-2 split now as the smoke is going to go deep into storage, maybe trying to slow down this generator area on the peak, but not able to really capitalize or push on the smoke at all. Maybe just throwing it out, trying to get a flash. Pick up a flash that was on Feral's body. Two flashes going to storage. Dia and Marbles both pushing here, trying to take this control. Marbles the nade in hand. Another flash is going to go into this low shelving area. Shot's going to come out from Death, trying to do some work there. Molly goes down to Molly's. It's actually just going to W key all the way in, and he's going to get taken down. Dia also taken down on the backside by Smith. And it's a 2v5. Now, for Fierce, kind of looking a little discombobulated. Marble's able to get a pick on a Roadrunner, though, not watching his corners. Falls under the shadow of the generator for cover. Stars playing this very cautiously with the clacker in hand. Would love to keep his charge options available. Marble's taking shots at Josh, but Josh with a close range mop able to take him down. Mace able to finish it off as he trades with Stars in server, and it's 3-1. Nemesis is on the board.
Really unfortunate miscommunication, because looks like Stars actually didn't have NVGs there, so that could have been something that could have changed the round if he was able to turn it off, and him and Marbles both had NVGs, but the case was not the case there. And so yeah, that round, just great opening pick on Nemesis' side. They knew they could hold that red door and try to get that free damage, let alone get a free kill. And Roadrunner was able to do it without punishment. And then afterward, things just kind of fell apart. Sadly, we saw Daxi have a great push and a great flash, but unfortunately didn't check his corners and paid the price from Death sitting by the forklift. And yeah, unfortunately just a sloppy attack from Fierce as well, but well held on Nemesis' side, playing all their angles perfectly and getting that great opening pick. As we transfer over to the dome, the kill dome, Fierce is probably going to be worried about the same things. The beach is just so strong. I don't know why any team would not want to push that, so we should be seeing that for sure. And it is possible to just do a straight eco with just going the beach, but it does make things a little bit difficult, especially because of this observation and then, you know, having to deal with ruins. So you're basically just having to like forcefully take these long fights, unless you decide to smoke it off or something similar. But it's looking like that's kind of what they want to do. They're opting to come in through the green here and just be prepared for angles up on these ruins as well as obs, and pushing through, just relying on that saber, honestly, because that saber is going to be doing a lot of work for them. And Josh, if he decides to bring them up, is going to be the one that needs to take the fight on him and bring that saber down, because the saber can do so much for the attack, and that's not what Nemesis wants. Nemesis is set up though for an observation take in case it happens, and not really worrying too much about the water, deciding to not really put anyone over there, let alone any barbed wire. And they decide to stack most of the utilities set for this observation, which is a strong contention point, so it makes sense. And Smith here deciding to bring the clacker as well, probably looking to deny the observation red door, but that's not where Fierce is going. Fierce is going for a full green take here. Nade in hand on Marbles.
No charge, no clacker. being brought here. Farrell going to get the aggressive kick on Beach. The rest of his team not anywhere near the door. Amali's going to come out, does a little bit of damage to a Dax and starts. Nothing substantial. Farrell able to just get base for free there, not looking the right direction. They're able to take him down as they smoke this obs. Not quite the smoke they wanted. Doesn't quite block off the vision as well as they were hoping. Josh using this obs, trying to see if he can get a free pick here with the mop, and he's able to do so onto a Daxi. Beautiful play from Josh there, using that observation one way to his advantage. Stars now trying to peek the same angle, standing on top of his dead brother, trying to see if he can get the kill with the saber there. Josh shot rings out again, not able to connect, but the molly protects him. Shot straight over from Ruins and the jungle as well, connecting a little bit onto Stars, putting him down to about 50 HP. Josh, another pick, that one onto Marbles, a huge play from him, taking full advantage of this one way, but flashes are coming in. Farrell able to push, he's able to take down Death, Dia able to take down Josh. Farrell himself is refragged by Roadrunner, and it's a 2v2 now. Dia on very low HP. But Stars, the saber in hand. Oh no, pit! Smith falls into the pit trying to rotate back, and all of a sudden Roadrunner's all on his own as Dia and Stars looking to capitalize with 45 seconds left in the round.
Time dwindles down. Roadrunner, all he has to do is hold this off. Both attackers looking really hurt, so he's just waiting for the kick. Stars coming through. He is doing some looting here, taking the saber. They're taking their sweet time. Ready for the kick, though they are. They have a flash on Stars. So they get the kick through. The flash comes through. Roadrunner having to run away, but he's still got time. Playing the angles. Here comes the push from Fierce. And Stars. Oh, the trade. It was a trade. Wow.
Oh,
I thought Stars took it, but incredible.
Roadrunner.
Down to the last second.
Oh, Roadrunner TK Death. I totally missed that. Roadrunner 4 if you count Death. Josh 2. And that round, with everybody dead, goes to the defender.
I mean, yeah, that's the problem with that green is just because of all that stacking up on Ruins, and that's exactly what we saw. But we did see Farrell make some good plays. He was able to find push up and actually flashed out the Ruins up top, and then that allowed his team to push into that obs, because those Ruins are kind of what is holding down a lot of, well, first off, whether they can cross over toward the water side of the map and where the power is, as well as just getting those extra angles to deny that observation. So great idea to take that push there, and so close to an attack win, but the very unfortunate mistake of Smith falling in the pit too. Things were going everywhere. That round was all over the place, but Nemesis were able to take it, and we moved to the last defense for Nemesis. And on this quarter is before we switch to the next half. And yeah, Fierce was able to keep double charge here too, and so they want to go for a fast play. They want to do a double charge here by just getting this door instantly and then going right for this wall. And it's to not only so you can get that concussion effect from that charge, but you will also be able to destroy all these barbs. And Adaxi also made it clear he wants to do the wall charge on this door, probably purely to get that extra damage, as the wall charge is going to do more compared to a door charge in terms of the radius of which the explosion will do any damage, as well as the concussion effect that occurs. So the question is if Nemesis will be set up for this. They have barbs in pretty good spots. They have, one set up for storefront, one for the office. I'm assuming they do have a bit more to play with, and yeah, they decided to put one in arcade and maybe one towards storage. But and the rest of the push looks like they want to Fierce does want to split green as well, probably just to add that extra pressure and just to make it so it's not such a dog-piled push, because with it can get a little complicated with someone trying to push this bathroom side here, especially if they might have a shotgun or something of that nature. But on the side of Nemesis, we do see that auto on Smith and a shotgun on Roadrunner, but outside of that, 2 mollies to work with, and the push is coming.
The push in here, not quite sure how they're going to split this one up here. It might be 2 storefront, and it is Farrell and Marble's going to go up there. Actually, they're going to bring Dia with them. They're going to shoot open the storefront here. Josh and Death lie in their way here, trying to see if they can get a couple of takes. That's focused on Shed right now. The charge is going to come in the bathroom, as Smith, Mace, and Roadrunner all in the office right now. Roadrunner kind of up on this little kind of rat spot, if you will, up high. Flash is coming to storefront as Josh is going to get flashed and taken out basically for free there. Death trying to get a couple shots on the backside, not able to connect into the storefront. Stars in the deck to get the charge down on the bathroom. Roadrunner in trouble if that charge goes out right now. And there he goes to the charge. Been able to get one in arcade, but he's immediately refragged. Mace is down on site as well. And it's just Death in storage. And Marbles is going to put him down in arcade. And it's 4-2 for Fierce.
Yeah, perfect take from Fierce. Great teamwork coming in from that storefront and coordinated with that bathroom. You know, the bathroom play had to kind of come in slow, and we saw Nemesis not really react to the red door getting open. They kind of, I guess they probably figured it would happen, but they were not ready for that second charge on the door. Roadrunner taking his life being taken away from him from that wall charge, unfortunately, and Mace was stuck alone on that site, having to eat some pellets full of DL12. So that ends the round, or that ends the half. We swap sides. Both these teams looking rough on their attacks until that last round. Fierce was looking really strong. So hopefully this is where things kind of turn around.
Yeah, that last attack, super clean C-store attack. But we're gonna see our first kill house now on Uncertain King.
Yeah, so this kill house, we have our good old friend Pillbox here, which can see quite a lot. Not only is it able to cover a red door, it can cover the site, but it also covers it covers 4 rooms pretty much here. It covers the backstage, the club, the lockers, and the kitchen. So there's a lot to be done here. And something interesting too that I do want to point out, because I'm really hoping we see it, is on this map there is a very good angle to prevent this exact push that Fierce wants to do. And Nemesis might be doing it. Basically, this backstage you can see right on through this door and right all the way through to this kitchen. And I'm pretty sure this is what this barb is set up for, because not only can you play this barb from the backstage, you can hold it back here, but you can hold it really well from Pillbox, whether it be up on this close box, or if Nemesis decides to, they can honestly don't even have to sit in the pillbox itself, and you can use these angles through to control that pillbox, because of how strong this pillbox position is, and because of how this backstage plays on it. Oh, Fierce actually does acknowledge it, so they might be ready for it. But that is the one downside of this kitchen take. It is a rough map to attack from. You know, we look on this kitchen side, and yeah, their options are to kind of just go through this reception and try to get through, as it probably makes the most sense considering you'll get the backstage control and you'll have all that cover for the bomb. But the office side is just not great either, because of all these 2 sets of doorways, and you're kind of having to deal with a lot of wall bangs. Not to mention you end up leading yourself into a back bar, which is just kind of another funnel.
For sure. And Smith opting for the kick and barb approach in kitchen. That kitchen door is open right now, with the barbed wire sitting right inside of it. Are pretty aggressive to take, as well as 4 barbs going to come out here for Nemesis. So some pretty aggressive defense coming out early on this kill house from them. Kind of a 180 plan-wise. The nade's going to go out and nade out that kitchen barb. Fierce opting to go with basically this free red door that Nemesis is opting to give them. A smoke going to come out now. Daya looking like he wants to come in, but there's a molly in that smoke, so he's not able to execute the way he wants to. Dax and Daya going to rotate down to reception. Mace is going to be in their way with this KR. Death spraying into that smoke with the KR himself. Mace trying to get a lot of damage. He's able to take down a Daxi in storefront. The flash is going to come in. Daya's able to push up and take down Mace. But Josh immediately there for the refrag on the backside. And it's a 3v4 now, as Marbles is going to be the first to come in here on backstage. Smith just sitting there. Farrell able to take him down with a wall bang there, I think. Death going to go down as well to Farrell in backstage. Josh finally able to shut down Farrell's reign of terror. Roadrunner another onto Marbles, and it's just Stars in a 2v1, and Roadrunner is able to handle him as well. And it's 3-4 for Nemesis. That aggression pays off.
Great job. Yeah, Roadrunner had a really great angle from this backstage to get a hold to get some damage done on this red push. That's what we saw that smoke come out for, to try to deny. But great molly from Smith to deny that push. Then we started seeing players move into the reception, and Mace was there to answer, and Josh in secondary as well. So great push from Fierce, but it was shut down really well on the based on the predictions from Nemesis. The push was there, the idea was there, but Nemesis had it all figured out.
Yeah, Nemesis just kind of Fierce trying to like say, Nemesis, you messed up, but kind of ended up playing into the hands of what Nemesis was expecting. So more defensive wins in this game, which I don't think is what anyone expected coming into it. But we're on
Yeah.
Zulu Hall.
We move over to Zulu Hall, yep, and it is a factory, and it is a weird one. I will say it's the first time I've seen this one. So we have an interesting, a huge containment here, and we have 4 separate containers, little rooms that defenders can choose to play in. One that actually has a dead end, so nowhere else out to go, with just a little forklift there. But that means lots of angles to worry about for the site itself. So this is going to be an interesting clear from the side of Fierce. We also have, yet again, we see some of these squared off silos with the full flooring there on that side, which are able to also just jump down right on the site. And that's kind of what Fierce wants to do here. They want to just go straight for these silos, and also a little bit of a green pinch here to take this silo control and be able to push down and have the stairwell to work with, as well as these railings they can jump over to get into sight. But the problem with that is these railings, they have to deal with these crossfires. So if Nemesis is set up in those containers correctly, or even if they're in these back ones or back by this dock, it could be a problem. And we see servers kind of is the path to power, as its doorway leads right out to power, but it does come at the cost of being in the open. And then we also have a dock working at the bottom side. Now, for the sake of Fierce, they do want that green control, as I've said before, and they want that silos. So is Nemesis can predict it? And it looks like they might, but they're set up pretty much perfectly for this.
Absolutely. Josh and Mace up there with a mop and Legros. And a Molly up there, as well as Death and Smith going to play down here. Death can take just a little bit of doorbang damage coming from Farrell there. Not falling off of his ankle, and Smith's going to punish Farrell again on the factory kick. That's the second time Farrell's gone down to a kick like that. A Molly comes out, as well as a flare over there in storage. Smith and Death doing a really nice job keeping that push as bay, as Marbles and Stars can rotate all the way around to these silos. Gonna put the charge down over here where Mace and Josh are waiting for them. More shots traded back and forth. This time it's Nemesis coming out on the short side, and they're gonna rotate back. Smith taking a lot of damage. As Adaxi and Dia are gonna use 2 flashes on nobody in storage. The charge is gonna come out. Marble's going down to a cross set up by Roadrunner. Stars alone now on silos. Adaxi also going down to death over in storage. And it's just Stars and Dia now. Stars kind of trying to rotate around, deciding what push could be best. He does have a Saber and a Clacker, so he may just be saving. Dia kind of trapped here. Star's able to take down Mace there, the first pick for Fierce of the round. But I think he's going to rotate all the way out, kind of abandon ship here and save while he's still ahead. Dia, on the other hand, kind of a little in too deep to get out right now. Very cautious, playing this one super duper safe. Farrell urging him to push it deeper via map drawing. But Dia is going to stay in this corner. Kind of seems like all she wrote. Billboard, what are you seeing?
Yeah, it's looking like this round is pretty much over. Stars decided to save Clack and Saber here, which is, it's smart. I mean, the push just kind of went everywhere. Yet again, Farrell falls to a door kick. We saw a great cross on that green, so that all that damage, even compared to last time, even though it was 1 guy, this time it was 2, so didn't really have a chance. And that's what you have to be prepared to deal with for the side of Nemesis, is those aggressive door peeks. But hold on a second, Diagram might be able to get a kill here on Death. They're playing right around each other, but they don't know. They go around, they loop around each other. Unfortunate. Oh,
all the way to
can he get Roadrunner at least?
Oh, he does get Roadrunner.
Does get him.
Oh, man.
For the economy.
That's an Ingmar down too.
Yeah.
Let's
so
see if, makes a
sneaky
difference.
little kill there. A sneaky little kill. But the important stuff got out. Stars got that Clacker, got that Saber, and that's really what matters. And yeah, I mean, yeah, the push got shut down pretty much perfectly. Marbles went in alone on that red, ran right into a Molly, and then he was kind of forced to hesitate, and then getting sprayed down by Roadrunner holding the angle from the stair side. So nothing really could be done. It's once again the fatal green that kind of sold that round for them, having that early pick for the sake of Nemesis, and that evens it up 4-4.
And again, that's our. We've still 8 rounds in, only seen one attacker round win. And with teams like this, that's just not what you expect.
Yeah, not what we expect from Nemesis, at least on that first quarter, but Nemesis might be starting to warm up here, so I'm curious to see how the next one goes. But before we get there, we do have one last round. Fierce on their last attack here, thinking about a wall charge into observation, which is a very curious plan. Not something that I believe I've seen, and it's definitely something that would throw them off. But the question is, what does it really get them? So the problem, the potential problem with this is, after they get the obs control, a lot of the site is still kind of the obs doesn't really do much to hold the site other than really mainly for information on beach. So unless Nemesis decides to stack a lot of players toward this obs and pit, then this round could go way differently, as they decide to stack a lot of their utility, or a lot of their barb toward the jungle red door, which is a more direct to sites red, compared to the pit red, which the pit red is really there just so you can get that power control. Um, but yeah, Fierce is looking to want to go for pretty much full green here and taking obs. I'm not sure if they are going to decide to try to go for power here. I missed rather whether they brought NVGs on that factory, but either way, um, it's going to be a rough push. Yeah, we see no players set up in observation, so we'll have to see just how much these obs angles work for them. Death is really the only one up there using that angle to get some, hopefully some damage on green, as you can see the kick for it. And all the smoke's coming out.
Smoke is gonna go out. Lots of Lego shots go down, but the only damage is a little bit of molly damage onto Marbles, who picked up the saber this round. It's been on Stars this set so far. Noteworthy change there. Death is going to rotate into obs. Flash is going to come out. The wall charge comes out, and Death is going to fall all the way back. Fairly able to get a pick there onto Josh. That's the mop down. That's a huge pick from him. Mace trying to get some damage onto Farrell as he's looking to go to these stairs, but he's not able to get the pick. Death trying to rotate all the way out. Marbles vigilantly watching his angles there, taking him out. But Roadrunner, a super long refrag there onto Daya. Farrell kind of trapped down there in base, as well as Adaxi and Stars are going to get the power here in pit. Farrell trying to use that darkness, maybe to escape here out of base. But on such low HP, he's going to have to be real careful. Flare's going to come out. It's going to land underneath the bridge in jungle. Farrell able to, on 25 HP, able to get the flare thrown by the defense and throw it all the way into beach, making the log area pitch black. Excellent play from him. As Adaxi, Farrell, and Marbles looking to execute on this log, with the former barb no longer there. Farrell kind of pre-firing the log a little bit. The molly's going to come out. Adaxi's going to jump right into it, take a ton of damage. He's down to 50 HP himself. Maybe a misthrow molly over there on that water entrance over in jungle, as Stars is just biding his time in pit. Nowhere near that yet, as Farrell's going to sneak his way forward into this log. Mace's going to drop, and they're going to exchange. Mace's going to come out on top, and he's going to get refragged by Marbles. Adaxi pushing the other way. Rotor able to get one, but Adaxi puts him down now, and it's just Smith. And Stars and Adaxi are able to handle that themselves, and it's going to be 5-4 going into our last quarter.
Very close round. We saw that wall charge did work out well for them. It caused Death to have to pretty much, I mean, he was pretty much dead at that point because of how they set it up. You know, you can't really cross back because of, well, one, they had a barb set up for it, so he was having to run through his own barb. And two, yeah, Marbles was set up with that saber angle, holding any crosses for anyone leaving out of the pit or observation area. So great way to chase those players out. It would happen to only be one, but, and yeah, I mean, things got close. It could have honestly all came down to the use of that one molly. I think the intention there was to slow down the push from it, and it did, you know, hold off Adaxi, but he was the only one pushing toward that side for that second molly. The first one was great from Smith, delaying a lot of time, but they were able to hold it out, and Fierce took the round. Very strong attack from them. It was looking close. They did run out of utility. They did run out of flashes at the end there. So it was looking scary because of all the things they had to clear, but they pushed together, they got the trades they needed, and they won the fights they needed.
A huge round for Fierce, getting the advantage going into this last defender set. And in a game that's been defender sided, that advantage might end up being the difference here as we come back to Uncertain King, our kill house.
Yeah, Fierce on both of their attack quarters, they were able to win one attack, while the single quarter we've seen from Nemesis on their attacks have all been losses. So that means Nemesis has got to do some work these rounds if they want to secure this as a win rather than a tie. We're gonna need to see a flawless Nemesis, and it's possible. You know, it does sometimes just need to wake up a little bit, and they can come right through. So their push looking to be through this reception, they kind of realize how not a great push office is. It's just not a good time. There's just too much wallbang potential and not a good places for the flashes to be able to come through so easily compared to pushing from the kitchen side and clearing out that pillbox. Mostly because pillbox just gets you so much in general. And they do decide to not go for that red door, and and it's looking like Fierce is probably not going to do the same aggressive play that Nemesis did to them in terms of opening that red door. They decide to go for some slightly different barbed wires, one on the pillbox door instead, and they do decide to go ahead and not play in pillbox entirely like I was talking about, and instead just rely on these angles and just trying to fight off kitchen from different angles rather than trying to hard hold that pillbox.
Different approach, but it looks like Nemesis are going to go with this reception play. All APs except for Smith on a DL and a nade, so pretty basic approach here from Nemesis, which is just the go in green and run to sight kind of approach. They're going to shotgun open lockers here, send Mace on a mission. Adaxi thinks he's a genius calling out this wall charge, but it's not going to happen. It's just a full green here. Lots of wallbangs, marbles, and stars with excellent lined up angles there. Adaxi using that pistol, trying to see what he can do. Trying to keep that auto shotty a secret. They're going to flash in here. Roadrunner is going to be able to take pillbox here, but he's going to take down Feral while standing inside of a barbed wire. The Molly's going to go out. Guy's able to get down Roadrunner, but Josh is able to punish him for doing so. As Josh is going to peek up into sight and not be punished. Schmidt able to get a Daxi with the nade there. And it's only 2 left now for Fierce. Marbles and Stars. Stars goes down. Marbles able to get one. A TK, and he gets another. And now it's Marbles and Josh in a 1v1. Marbles is just absolutely sending with this KR in this 1v1. Holy cow. Marbles now on this stage trying to look for this little window angle maybe.
45 seconds on the clock.
Josh
I'm just excited.
Back up through this barbed wire to make tons of noise, and he wall hangs him. A beautiful play from Josh, bringing it 5-5. Oh man, what a roller coaster!
You don't sit in corners on Kill House. Those wall bangs are brutal. Marbles probably kicking himself for that, but incredibly good try. He made such an aggressive play, causing a TK and getting 2 for himself. But what a close round. That could have really came down to anything. We saw a few pivotal points in that round, I think, where really this door honestly needed to be open on pillbox. Unfortunately, Feral got taken out even with the kick onto this pillbox door, and from there the push into pillbox was just brutal, and they were able to do tons of damage. And that's when we also saw the nade come out, killing a Daxi when he was trying to last second try to push through that barbed wire. And it was looking really, really bad for Fierce. And then Marbles made a huge play and turned that around instantly. But Josh held his composure, played that perfectly, played it like Kill House should be, and won it with a wallbang kill. So great job on him for the side of Nemesis.
Really strong stuff there. Holding on to that round and what could have been disastrous if Nem wasn't able to hold on to that one. As it's 5-5, tie game with our last 2 attacker rounds here, coming back to Zulu Hall.
Yep, and as I said, Nemesis needs these attack wins if they're gonna want to try to take this game, and it's, you know, it is Nemesis. It is possible. They can, and if it's gonna be any side, it's attack. Attack is generally their stronger side. And while that round was a little bit rough, it was looking a lot better than their first quarter, and They didn't even use any charges because of it too, so they have lots to work with here on this factory, as well as this upcoming dome. So, but I think if there's a map that's going to get double charged, it might be this one, and that's kind of why Fierce is kind of being wary of a potential wall charge into the container over here, as well as, of course, I think the obvious thing is you want to worry about this red door. I think the Silos red is very strong. It's probably the strongest, but it's also a good way to be held, or like the defense can hold it pretty well as well. Um, and then, of course, they're also worried about this dock play, which could also be a good wall charge because that wall charge, I think, Fierce was kind of holding out on it just to see if that dome would have been a good place for a wall charge, and it did work out for them. Don't get me wrong, but I think they would have preferred it maybe on this map instead. But I mean, we'll see what Nemesis decides to do. It's not clear exactly what charge they want to go for, but they're very wary of wanting to clear out these containers, and most likely wanting to go silos based on their flash setups. And I wouldn't be surprised with a green split as well, as we did see earlier. Mace doing those solo green plays. We'll see if he returns to form in that sense, or if we